The shocking truth about the Ford 406 engine. Why did Ford kill it after just 2 years? As a development of the 390 engine, the Ford 406 engine debuted in 1962 as a high-performance V8 with revised cylinder heads and a wider bore to boost output. With models generating up to 405 horsepower, it provided remarkable power. Despite its brief existence, it was phased out by 1963 to make way for the more potent 427. The 406 was crucial to Ford's performance and racing endeavors in the early 1960s, particularly during the Total Performance campaign. By testing design advancements that would be incorporated into later, more powerful Ford engines, it acted as a stepping stone in engine development. Here are the 10 key points explaining why Ford killed the 406 engine so quickly. Number 10, production period and replacement. The manufacturing of the Ford 406 engine was particularly short, lasting only 2 model years, 1962 and 1963. Its launch closed a gap as Ford looked to upgrade from the previous FI engines to a more powerful racing and performance engine in the face of intensifying competition from muscle cars. However, strategic advancement rather than failure was the cause of the engine's brief existence. By 1964, the 406's 406 cubic inches could no longer compete successfully due to changes in NASCAR regulations, such as expansions to displacement restrictions. Ford swiftly changed its focus to the creation and introduction of the 427 engine, which provided more displacement and improved engineering, allowing it to maintain its dominance in both racing and street performance. Therefore, even though the 406 was revolutionary at the time, it primarily functioned as a transitional engine that pointed the way toward Ford's muscle car pinnacle. Number 9, bore, stroke, and displacement. The 406 engine, which was intended to extract maximum displacement without requiring a completely new engine architecture, was basically a stroked and bored version of Ford's FE series. The cylinders widened to provide more air-fuel combination for combustion when the diameter was increased from the 3.90's 4.05-inch size to 4.13 inches. In order to keep the crankshaft design and a known piston travel distance, the stroke stayed constant at 3.785 inches. With the bore size increments, this combination produced a total displacement of about 406 cubic inches, 405.7 precisely, which represents a sweet spot between power gains and engine block durability. In order to handle higher pressures and temperature stresses, the larger bore required specialist iron block castings with thicker cylinder walls, carefully weighing strength against weight and material cost. Ford engineers were able to effectively maximize output on an existing platform by using this method. Number 8, block and cylinder wall design. The main source of the 406 engine's uniqueness is its redesigned block casting, which was designed to fit the larger bore diameter and push the physical boundaries of the FE block to preserve integrity at high performance. In order to add crucial structural strength and prevent early wear, cracking, or distortion under racing circumstances, engineers thickened the cylinder walls surrounding each bore for reliable sealing of high-compression combustion and long-term endurance during demanding street or race use. Thicker walls are essential because they withstand flexing and heat-induced warping. To be compatible with FE components, the block's deck height and core dimensions stayed largely the same. However, the new casting needed precision metallurgy and cooling channel improvements in order to dissipate the increased heat created. The difficult balancing act between power gains and mechanical reliability that was common in the early development of muscle car engines is highlighted by these engineering trade-offs. Number 7, 2 main carburetor configurations. Ford provided the 406 with 2 well-known carburation configurations, each of which customized power delivery to meet the needs of different drivers. The single Holley carb employed in the original barrel carburetor layout was comparatively simple and produced 385 horsepower and 444 pound-feet of torque. This version balanced dependability and drivability for street use. Racers and performance fanatics, on the other hand, preferred the tri-power system, which used 3 two-barrel carburetors to optimize fuel atomization and airflow at different throttle settings. At a higher red line of 5,800 RPM, this sophisticated setup increased peak power to 405 horsepower and torque to 448 pound-feet. It also improved mid-range acceleration and throttle response. Tri-power installations gained popularity during the muscle car period prior to fuel injection supremacy because they rewarded drivers with improved performance, dynamics, but required delicate adjustment for synchronization. Number 6. Racing design features and cross-bolted mains. One of the 406's landmark engineering innovations was the introduction of cross-bolted main bearing caps, a design improvement not previously standard in FE engines. Traditionally, main bearing caps were secured only by bolts or studs that threaded upward from the crankcase to hold the bearing saddles in place. Cross-bolted mains enhanced block rigidity significantly by adding additional bolts that ran laterally through the block sidewalls into the bearing caps, resisting rotational and lateral forces generated by high RPM operation and high torque output. Number 5. Compression ratios. The Ford 406 engines carried robust compression ratios, ranging typically from 10.9 to 1 to 11.4 to 1, and Mercury variants reportedly pushed even higher, up to 12.1 to 1. Such ratios translated directly to increased power by ensuring a tighter air-fuel charge squeeze before ignition, improving thermal efficiency and combustion speed. However, these elevated ratios demanded high-octane fuels to avoid pre-ignition and knocking, especially under hot operating conditions typical in racing or spirited driving. Number 4. Vehicle applications and total performance era. The Ford 406 engine powered select full-size Ford Galaxy 500 models and some Mercury sedans and coupes during a pivotal time in Ford's total performance campaign. This era in the early 1960s was characterized by a deliberate blending of racing technology and street vehicle offerings, designed to bolster Ford's image as a motorsports and performance leader. Number 3. Technical dead end in shift to 427 engines. While the 406 was a high-performing engine for its time, it quickly became evident it represented a technical dead end based on the FE block's material and design limits. Further increasing bore size or boosting power would risk engine reliability, especially under brutal racing conditions characterized by high RPMs, extreme loads, and long durations. To remain competitive, especially as NASCAR raised displacement caps to 427 cubic inches, Ford channeled development efforts into the 427 engine. Number 2. Development contributions to the 427. The 406 served as a crucial testbed for innovations that fed directly into the 427's design and reputation. For example, the 427 benefited from beefed-up connecting rods that improved strength to cope with higher cylinder pressures and RPM. Piston designs evolved, featuring floating wrist pins to reduce internal friction and enhance durability. Number 1. Competitive role in early 1960s muscle car scene. In the fiercely competitive muscle car landscape of the early 1960s, Ford introduced the 406 to counter rivals such as Chevrolet's potent 409 and Chrysler's RB and HEMI engines. The 406 gave Ford a temporary horsepower advantage, helping secure victories in NASCAR and drag racing, while strengthening dealer showroom appeal. In summary, Ford discontinued the 406 engine because it had hit engineering limits, was politically banned in NASCAR to clear the way for the 427, and lacked broader customer appeal features, making the 427 a better long-term bet for performance and racing dominance. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel.